We are in downtown Jacksonville, Florida today, and we're taking a walk. The rain has finally stopped. The sun is out. We're following a walking tour from a series called Look Up America, and it is a walking tour. It covers lots of different cities and towns all over America. There's actually 521 books in the series, and most of them are just 99 cents. So the guy who wrote them is Doug Gelbert, and he takes you on, it's mainly the architecture of a town or a city. And his philosophy is, you don't know a city or a town until you've walked it. And that's our philosophy too. We like to walk because you get to see things you don't see from a car or a bus window. You get to see the people and the town and the architecture. It's a great way to see a city, and today we're touring our city, Jacksonville. And this is the St. James building, formerly the Cohen department store, which of course became May Cohen's, and it is now part of the City Hall complex of Jacksonville.
Where your grandmother used to work.
Yeah, my grandmother worked at Cohen's. She started like in 1922 or 23, and she worked there for a long time. She actually knew Mr. Cohen, one of the brothers. And this is Hemming Plaza, which I believe is now James Weldon Johnson Park. At this spot, the Kings Road met the Appalachian Trail, so connecting the English colonies and the Spanish settlement of the West, St. Augustine and New Smyrna.
It's just building.
That is the old YMCA building, 407 North Laura. Okay, this is the old Western Union Telegraph Company. The building is at 333 North Laura Street. After operating from Bay Street for 36 years, Western Union settled into their new $500,000 home in 1931. This is the Jacksonville Public Library. It was opened November 12, 2005. It's the main library. It's over 300,000 square feet in size and is the largest public library in the state. The design is the handiwork of Robert A.M. Stern, architect, a New York firm with projects across the globe. Okay, we are at the corner of Laura and Monroe Street, and this is Snyder Memorial Methodist Church. The congregation organized in 1870 as Trinity Methodist and lost their church in the Great Fire of 1901. New York architect J.H.W. Hawkins came to town to participate in the rebuilding and contributed this Gothic revival sanctuary to Jacksonville's streetscape. This is the Greenleaf and Crosby building at 208 North Laura Street. Damon Greenleaf arrived in Jacksonville from New York in 1867 and started selling jewelry from a storefront on Bay Street. In 1880, J.H. Crosby came on board, and for the next 50 years, Greenleaf and Crosby was a fixture in Jacksonville retailing. Look up to see the terracotta griffins and the eagles and urns dancing across the facade. In 1930, Greenleaf and Crosby sold the business to V.E. Jacobs, which continues to this day. Jacobs Jewelry. All right, this is the Barnett Bank building. On May 7, 1877, Barnett Bank of Jacksonville took its first deposit. As befitting Florida's largest bank, Byron Bennett built Jacksonville's tallest tower in 1926. Okay, this is the Carling 13-story Center City Hotel. Was built in 1926. After a $29 million renovation in 2005, it has opened as an upscale apartment building. This is the old Florida National Bank at 51 West 4th Side Street and Laura Street. It's a neoclassical vault, was designed in 1902 for the Mercantile Exchange Bank. 3 years later, Florida Bank and Trust and Florida National Bank moved in and doubled its size. It's now being renovated. This is the Bisbee building, and in 1908, Bisbee set out to build Jacksonville's first skyscraper. It's a narrow 26-foot tower to emphasize the building's dramatic height. Okay. Frank W. Woolworth came to Jacksonville in 1917 and moved into this 2-story emporium on one of the town's busiest shopping center corners. The famous Woolworth's Five and Dime. This is the Lynch building located at 11 East Forsyth Street. Stephen Andrew Lynch grew up in North Carolina, where he played baseball and earned the nickname Diamond Lynch. He coached and managed professionally, and at the age of 27 in 1909, he got into the motion picture business. And let's see, he built this 17-story building, tower, the town's second largest by a whisper, in 1926 for a reported $1 million. This is the Bostwick Building, 101 East Bay Street. The First National Bank organized in 1874 as Florida's first bank. They constructed a bank on this site in 1880, and after the Great Fire in 1901, they rapidly rebuilt. is the Florida Theater. It was built on April the 8th, 1927. Even though there were 14 other movie houses in Jacksonville prior to that, moviegoers had never seen or experienced anything like this. It was a classic atmospheric movie palace of the day. We're at 200 East Forsyth Street, and this is the Title and Trust Company of Florida. Frederick Saxelby came from New York City. He moved to Jacksonville in 1913, and 6 years later established practice with William Mulford March that lasted until 1946. Okay. This brick building was constructed in 1906 as a stable and a carriage showroom, and has been in business since 1880. Alright, this is the Morocco Temple. It's an Egyptian revival theme. This three-story building was built in 1911, and it was the largest temple in the state for the organization. This is the Jacksonville Free Public Library, and it was built in 1902 with a grant from the Carnegies. Of course, it's no longer the library, public library.
This is the newer
public library.
It's no longer a library.
Yeah. Well, the city has built a new public